Hey, how have you been? Long time no video. It's been a minute. Thank you for your patience. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is quite a different video. I've been away for a while. For those who don't already know, I'm a sports and fitness nutrition consultant. So I've been away for the African Championship and also went to Rwanda for a nutrition workshop. That's why I've not been able to do any video for you guys. At the same time, I was a bit under the weather. I lost my voice for like a week, but I got so sick, and but now I'm back doing much better. And I thought, because I went to Rwanda by road for the first time, which was more than 24 hours, I decided to document this journey in case you want to travel to Rwanda. Like I said, I went there for a workshop. It's my first time traveling. It's my first time traveling by bus for such long hours. I've been to Rwanda before, but as a layover on my way to Burundi. But that time I took a plane. I didn't go by bus. So this I found this so interesting. So I left Nairobi at around 2 p.m. through this bus, which was quite comfortable. At 2 p.m. it's called the Trinity bus. We only have two buses that goes all the way to Rwanda, that is the Trinity and Modern Coast. But trust me, I would never encourage anyone to use Modern Coast. It's the most unreliable type of bus you can ever use. That's another that's another story for another day. Has given me a very bad experience, and that's why I'm talking about it. If you have to go for such long distance, or rather if you want to go to Rwanda, kindly use the Trinity bus, which is it's actually very comfortable and a bit luxurious. So if you can, kindly use the Trinity bus. Because it's a long distance, you need all the comfort that you need. If you want to sleep, if you want to sit, if you want to sleep, it's quite comfortable. So this is Nairobi Naivasha, or rather Nairobi Nakuru Highway, and this is around Naivasha. We have very beautiful scenes. I love road trips for this beautiful scenes, and particularly this part of the road, because it's very beautiful. No people. It's like you're passing in the middle of the jungle. You see zebras, sometimes gazelle, and monkeys. And monkeys are always there to be fed. They're always there and ready to receive food. They're always standing along the road. The problem we have is we are always giving them food without removing the litter. As you can see, we have so much litter along the road. So kindly, if you need to give them food, put away the wrappers, the bottles, and all that, because it's also damaging to the environment, which is also not good for these beautiful animals. Soon you'll not be able to see them again. So make sure, as you give them food, make sure whatever you're giving is biodegradable, and that is a bit which is actually very friendly to the environment. Thank you. So it took us around 4 hours to Nakuru. This bus was not that fast, so we got to Nakuru. At around 5 p.m. So but it was, like I've said, it was comfortable, and we were able to even enjoy very beautiful scenes along the way. I felt like this trip would have been better if it was by private means. Reason being, there are very beautiful stopovers you can have. For example, here we are heading towards Lake Elementaita. As you can see, we have very beautiful sunset over there. It's really cute. The camera is not giving it so much justice. So it's a very beautiful sunset over there. And then after all that, you are able to see you're able to see the sleeping warrior over there at the horizon. It's really beautiful to watch. I know most of the time people don't recognize the sleeping warrior over there, but if you, like I've said, it's really cute, or rather it would be good if you had a private means so that you can have a stopover, because this sleeping warrior is located around Lake Elementaita, which you're going to see shortly in this video. And so you'll be able to stop over here, be able to view the sleeping warrior, at the same time see the Lake Elementaita and the flamingos all together. And it's really cute. So road trips are not that bad, despite them being quite tiring, because like I've said, I travel for over 24 hours by road. It's quite tiring. So you're traveling during the day, at the same time you travel overnight. So it's quite an experience, though it's a bit exhausting. But if it's your type of enjoyment, then why not? It was not that bad, especially if you're using the correct means of transport. You'll be able to really enjoy along the way. So like I've said, the beautiful scenes are to die for. And and somehow I appreciate the fact that Kenya is actually very beautiful. We have good roads all the way from Nairobi to the border, that is the Busia border. Before I can continue, this was the stopover in Nakuru. We had a stopover in Nakuru. So we took like some 30 minutes, yeah, at the stopover, so that people can eat and use the washroom and do whatever they want, buy whatever they wanted to buy. And then we got back to the bus and continued with our journey. The next stop is going to be in Kisumu. There was quite some traffic in Nakuru because it was already 5 p.m. and people were already going back home. So we stayed there for a while before proceeding with our journey to Kisumu. And like I was saying, Kenya is really beautiful. We have very good road networks. After going through, or rather passing all these three countries, I would really appreciate the road networks in Kenya, because we didn't have trouble, or rather we didn't experience any bad roads from Nairobi all the way to Busia. Except for a certain place which I don't really know the name. After you've left, somewhere in between Londiani and Awasi is where we experience a bad road for a short distance. Yeah, otherwise we have very good road networks. That's our bus, and we're already in Kisumu city. And we got here at around 10 p.m. in the evening. Again, another stopover for people to eat, drink, use the washroom, and then got back to the bus again and proceed with our trip. So the next stop is going to be at the Busia. Is going to be at the Busia border, at the immigration, where we are going to have our bags checked and all the security details and whatever. So this is Kisumu. We arrived there at night, so we couldn't see much. And after some time, we were able to get to the border, where, of course, security checking, where you alight the bus, go and have your passport stamped. When you leave Kenya, your passport is stamped, and now when you enter Uganda, your passport is stamped as well. At the same time, we have security check, where your bags are checked. All the bags are removed from the bus and checked thoroughly, so that you can be able to proceed with the journey. This process takes more than an hour. That's another thing I found quite exhausting. Yeah, it took us more than an hour at the border to have all these security checks. And another thing that really disappointed me, especially in the Kenya-Uganda border, is the attitude of the immigration officers. Those people have an attitude, and at some point, some people were asked for money for one or two things here and there. So it was not really, I found that to be not to be so good. You are a civil servant or a public officer, you need to serve people with kindness and not with an attitude. That's what I figured. And I also realized when I gave out my passport, they really scrutinized it a lot. Like I've told you, I've traveled quite a lot, and not by road. This was my first time outside the country, not by road. So they really scrutinized my passport and asked me quite some good questions. Yeah, in both borders. So this is us. We left. It's still at night. And of course, we crossed River Nile at some point at Jinja, but you couldn't be able to see it. But I'm going to show you when I travel back. Yeah, I'm going to show you that video later. So this is Kampala. We arrived in Uganda at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that means we slept and really slept. Yeah, so we got here at 6 a.m. in the morning. We didn't really get into the Kampala city, the capital city of Uganda, because we had to use another route because of traffic. I understand Kampala has quite a lot of traffic because I experienced that when we came back. So with this bus, we didn't get into Kampala so much because, or rather, we didn't go through Kampala because of that, avoiding that traffic. Otherwise, would have gotten to Kigali very, very late in the evening. This is the beautiful Kampala, as you can see. Yeah, their roads are not so good. That's what I experienced here. Their roads are not so good. But another thing that I really found interesting that don't usually happen here in Kenya is you see the way hawkers sell you they sell you things of snacks uh, on your windows, through the windows. So in Uganda they sell things like meat, yeah, smoked meat, or rather barbecued meat, chapati, barbecued meat and chapati. I found that interesting, and also matoke. I think it's this matoke, the way it's cooked, it's like ni kama imechomwa for the Kenyans. Imechomwa na imetolewa. I found that really, really interesting. I wasn't able to eat, but reason being, not for any reason, I couldn't eat because when I'm traveling, I don't want to be taking things. I don't want to be taking things which can easily give me food poisoning or make me use the washroom a lot. So I avoided it. But deep down, I really wanted to taste it. Another not so favorite experience was the accidents that we saw along the way. We are still in Uganda. We saw like a couple of accidents. Another one, we are going to see it later in this video. So we passed through different towns, as you can see, different towns and centers. And this is actually I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, Masaka. I think this was Masaka. I remember the name Masaka because of the Masaka kids from Uganda. Those kids who dance so well. You can go check them out. Yeah, they're really, really so cute. So as you go across Uganda, you see a lot of lots and lots of bananas. Every household seem to plant bananas. They don't have what I also experienced, or rather I saw here, is like most houses don't necessarily have fences. Yeah, most of them are just exposed. I don't know if that's how it is, or the security here is so good. I can't really tell, but what really caught my eye is lots and lots of bananas. Okay, banana being a staple food in Uganda, so is actually, it's expected that they have so much of that. Actually, from all the way from Kampala to because you go to Kampala in the morning, so Kampala to Kigali, we would see, not Kigali, from Kampala to the border, you'd see a lot of bananas. If you're not seeing bananas, you're seeing rice. If you're not seeing rice, you're seeing swamp. So, and alongside it, bananas, as you can see. It's so beautiful, so cute. I imagine they use it even as decorations. Yeah, because it's really, I find it so cute. Another thing I also saw, it's like most of their houses are really close to the road and there are no access. Yeah, they're really close to the road and they don't have access like the way we see here in Kenya. Access, you see the way they put a cross to show that it's going to be demolished. I didn't see that. So we got to Mbarara. So here in Mbarara, it's now you see from where we've come from, there most of them are just centers and villages. So this is, I think, another major town in Uganda, and this is the last town before we get to, or rather city. I saw a lot of names city in Uganda. I think they call their town city. I don't know. I think I've seen quite a number of cities. Masaka City. There was another city that I can't remember the name, and this is now Mbarara. So I found Mbarara to be a bit organized and cute at the same time, unlike all the other centers, including Kampala. Yeah, I found this town to be a bit more organized, and from here it's gonna be like 3 hours to Kigali. Yeah, and I happened to interact with the Rwandese, and she told me that this Mbarara at some point was part of Rwanda. I don't know how true that is. So, but that's what she said. Maybe I should check my history properly. Yes. So this is Mbarara town, and then as you can see, more and more bananas. More and more bananas. Really dope. I really enjoyed it. So we proceeded to the border, Kigali. So continue enjoying the beautiful scenes of Uganda before we get to the border. Yeah, and as you can see, the environment is now, it's like it's transitioning. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's like the environment is now transitioning. We are going to Kigali, which is hilly, and I feel like it's starting to change. So that girl might be right, because Rwanda is, we call it land of many hills, land of 1,000 hills. So it's the land is transitioning. As you can see, we don't have a lot of bananas anymore. So it's clearly we are heading to Rwanda. This another accident which was really horrible. I don't know if people survived here. It's really horrible because I think this car got burnt at some point. Yeah, so it was really horrible, and yeah, so sad. Really sad. So we got to the border. We are now entering the border of between Uganda and Rwanda. So again, we'll have our passports stamped as you exit Uganda and stamped as you enter Rwanda. So the experience here, or rather this at this border point, it was quite smooth, though thorough compared to the Kenya-Uganda border. This was quite thorough. We had all our bags opened and checked and scrutinized, and you asked a lot of questions, and no paper bags. If you have something in your bag that is made from a polythene bag or a nylon paper, it's removed and it's thrown in the bin. So the checking here was quite smooth. No much harassment. People at the immigration office here, they were quite friendly but very thorough. I was asked some questions in both borders, and once they've checked my bio data and start perusing through the pages, they realize they're perusing so many pages, and they stop stamping and start asking me questions. I don't know why. I don't know why, because the people in front of me, including the person we were traveling with, was not asked any question. But for me, I was held a bit and asked questions. What do I do for a living? Where am I going to stay? Why am I going to Rwanda? And actually, the line was just moving until it got to me and some other guy from Jamaica. We were asked all these questions, but the good thing, we had all the answers. Personally, I had all the answers, so I told them, and of course they welcomed me to Rwanda. So we got to Rwanda. Now we've started the journey. As you can see, the hills, and of course you have the tea plantations. I didn't know Rwanda has tea. I thought we are the only ones who have tea. Joking. So I come from Kericho. Yeah, Kericho is I was born and raised in Kericho. We take pride in tea. So seeing another country with tea is also interesting. Okay, so this is Rwanda. We are getting into Rwanda. Yeah, it's gonna be like again 3 hours to Kigali, the capital city of Rwanda. So at this point, we're already very, very exhausted, but still having so much anticipation of getting into Rwanda. So we passed through so many corners, a lot of hills, yeah, so many of them, so many corners and valleys and valleys, and we call them valleys and mountains. Is it mountains or hills? Whichever. Yeah, so it was also quite an experience. And as you can see, Rwanda is beautiful, very clean. Yeah, and you've not gotten to Kigali. Yeah, as you can see, even the weather here, once we got to Rwanda, the weather just changed. Yeah, so we got here. This is how it looks like, very demure. As you can see, it's still very, very, very cute. Yeah, like I've said, we've passed through so many hills. I couldn't document all of them. Then we got to Rwanda at around 8 p.m. in the evening, and as you can see, so beautiful. This is one of the towns that is built on hills, but still very organized. As you can see, the borders wait for traffic lights to go on and off. They literally wait. They obey the traffic rules. There's no breaking traffic rules. They wait literally. Yeah, and that I found that one to be very interesting. Knowing where I come from, borders don't really respect, or rather obey, the traffic rules as much, but here in Rwanda they really do, and that is really interesting. And the town itself looks a bit organized. Yeah, and beautiful, very beautiful at night. As you can see, looks so beautiful, the land of 1,000 hills. So we got here. We're already very, very, very tired. I took Nduthi to the place where we were staying, and I think I really enjoyed it, because with this Nduthis, you wear a helmet. Yeah, the passenger and the driver, both of you wear helmets, which I found also interesting here, because in Kenya, so this is where I was staying, and that's my view. It's really, really, really cute. So that's it. And then of course I had my meal. This is some sandwich, some fries. It was long time coming. All along I've been snacking and just drinking water because of fear of food poisoning, my friend. This is me the next day preparing for the workshop after I slept like a baby, because I was so tired from traveling, but I woke up feeling energetic and ready for the day. I don't have the actual footage for me doing the workshop because it was being live recorded in some Rwandan TV, which I'm yet to find it. So it was really nice. Then after the workshop, we had some Rwandese food. As you can see, this is what was presented. I understand Rwandese love beans and cassava leaves or something like that. I met some Kenyan lady there who was explaining to me what really happens here. So listen what she had to say.
Mimi niko na ngozi mwenye ananiambia sweet potatoes na beans. Kwanza food yenye haina beans. Mwenye anaenda atakuja kuambia hakuna chakula. Hakuna no food because hakuna beans. Beans ndio.
As they say, mountains don't meet, but people actually meet. So this is my friend Ines. I met her some years back in Burundi. And coincidentally, I met her here in the same workshop I was presenting in. And of course, she showed me around. This is us just experiencing the nice weather of Kigali. And it was really cute. And I really enjoyed my time here. So after I was done, I decided to go to town, Kigali town, or rather visit the memorial because I didn't have so much time here to visit the memorial park in Kigali. So I again took the Nduthi for better experience of the town. Like I said, I don't have so much time to really tour the place. So I went to the memorial park. So this is how their streets look like. Yeah, so clean and beautiful. They even have street names. Yeah, okay, where I was staying, there were street names. I don't know if the rest of Kigali have street names in their estates. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. It was really nice to experience that, and my helmet was giving me problems. That's why I needed to really hold it to hold it tightly. Plus I'm not used to, Kenyans, we don't wear helmets. Yeah, so I needed to really hold it. So this is us. So enjoy the streets of Kigali. Yeah, so these border borders are so interesting actually because you don't even get to sit to two people. It's just one person at a time with a helmet. The problem I experienced here is language barrier as well because especially with the Nduthi guys, they tend to speak Kinyarwanda only. So even with direction, you just have to really try so hard to be able to explain to them where you're going and what not. So it was really tough. So there was no one to explain to you where we are, how they do their things here. So I think I need to plan some other time to experience Rwanda properly, or rather Kigali properly. Yeah, because like I've said, I don't have so much time in Rwanda because I need to go back. I need to go back to Kenya. So because of other commitments that I have, so I need to leave until next time. Here in Rwanda, they don't seem to be having so many matatus, but they have those, I think, BRT buses, yeah, which are owned by the government. So the people commute via those buses. I understand they even have cards to use the buses, which I found it rather good. Yeah, it was really good, but I didn't get to experience them again. Like I said, I didn't have so much time, and Boda was convenient for me because I wasn't moving around so much. Plus, I needed to really have a good view of the town and experience it much better. This is the nightlife of Kigali, as you can see. Yeah, it's still beautiful and very clean, organized. Yeah, so like we have language barrier, so I really needed to ask this Nduthi guy a lot of questions, but I couldn't because for the obvious reasons, language barrier. So they only speak Kinyarwanda. So this is me at the CBD, heading to the CBD, and you can see that we have very few people at the CBD. I don't know if there is a curfew time to be at the CBD. I don't know because it was so quiet, very few people moving around, very few vehicles, and do this. Though I also understand we have the car-free zones within Kigali town, so not cars are not allowed to get to some places within the Kigali city. So that's why, maybe that explains why we don't have so many cars here. But people, yeah, people are also very scarce here. So I don't know. So I needed to stop over at this beautiful waterfall within Kigali. What I really liked about Kigali as well is like everything they've done in their city is very intentional. Like their planning seems to have been done with a lot of intentionality. This is us getting to the park, and you can see how beautiful it is. So this was actually just meant to beautify the town. People can go there, relax. And another thing, of course,
Unaweza piga picha.
so it looks well taken care of, and still very beautiful, especially at night, as you can see. So I feel I think all African countries should learn one or two things from Rwanda. They might not necessarily have so much, but the little that they have, they have really taken good care of it. As you can see here, this is just a normal park, but very clean, and looks like it's well taken care of. Yeah, so I just went here, took some photos within the place. Here at least you can see some people who have come for the same reasons. I think the Kenyans like myself, I don't know. Yeah, so this is how Kigali town, or rather Kigali city, looks like the capital city of Rwanda. I think that would be it about Rwanda. So this is me going back again. After I was done with Rwanda, I traveled back. I promised to show you Kampala when I get back because I didn't pass through Kampala. So this is how Kampala looks like. Yeah, of course it's nothing compared to Rwanda. It's not as clean as Rwanda, but I think it's beautiful in its own way. The people there, yeah, it still has beautiful, but the traffic here, we stayed on traffic for like 2 hours or 3 hours in traffic, just from where the car from the stage to the outskirts of Kampala. So we really stayed for a long time, 2 to 3 hours if I'm not wrong. So this is the car stopping. Yeah, we went on like this for quite a long time, and then do this. Oh my goodness. Kampala is literally the land of Ndudhis. Nairobi has got nothing on Kampala when it comes to Ndudhis. But I love Ndudhis. I've used it, like you've seen. I've used Ndudhi well in Kigali because I really wanted to experience Kigali to the fullest, and the fact that I didn't have so much time. So Ndudhis come in handy. So Kampala, there's no way you're gonna be late if you're using the Ndudhi, because Ndudhi takes you very fast to where you're going. So have some time, and that is Rwanda. No, sorry, that is Uganda for you. Yeah, Uganda. And another thing that I also learned about Uganda, the person who was seated next to you was telling me, if you want very cheap cars in Uganda, you can easily get very cheap cars. The problem with me, I don't know how that works. If you want a car in Uganda, can you really come with it to Kenya? What is the process of having to get a car in Rwanda and having and having to use it here in Kenya. If there's someone who knows how that works, let us know. We need to own this this car, but I think it's not that easy, otherwise people would be having it. So if you know something about getting a car in from getting a car from yeah, tell us. So these are their matatus. Yeah, these are their matatus. Yes, yeah, like I've said, they have very cheap cars. So if you know somebody who knows this better, you can comment down there and tell us, how do people get cars from Uganda? So this is the source of River Nile, the one that I promised you that I'll show you when we get back. You see how beautiful it is. One thing about River Nile is the fact that it's usually very big, and it doesn't matter which side of, or rather which part of the country, or rather which country you're watching it from, because even from the Egypt side, it's usually very big, and the environment around it is usually very green and beautiful. I really love that about that. This is a snippet of how River Nile looks from the Egypt sides. There's no way you can experience all this when looking at it from a plane. So, and of course, the usual me is always reading while traveling, and that's it. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this long video. Thank you for being here. If you want to travel to Rwanda, go ahead and do it. Put it in your bucket list because I know you'd love it. I'm also planning to go back, but this time not for work, but on a personal level, to go and just watch and experience Rwanda, a land of 1,000 hills. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.